Chris, we're live.
Yes.
Hey, welcome to What's Up, Emerald Coast.
I found the secret is to keep posting stuff while you do that dance, so I don't have to watch. So I'm just going to keep sharing.
I love that Seinfeld dance because I'm back here like this. And he's like, oh my gosh, please. Yeah. Hey, I'm RJ Murdoch. This is Chris Seaman, and we welcome you to Thursday, May 21st, 2020. And today we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
There is a lot to talk about today. It's a Thursday.
And we have a special guest we're going to be bringing in.
Someone told me there's a holiday coming up.
Memorial Day, maybe?
See, when you're not employed, holidays kind of get lost. When you don't think about the normalcy of
when you're self-employed, you're like, oh, today's a holiday?
Yeah, so it's true. And then when you're in a pandemic, you lose track that it's Thursday. See, yeah. I don't. It's like, thank God I walk into the show and you got the paper here, so I look down and go, okay, it's
That's
Thursday.
The second question. First was, who's our guest?
Who's our guest?
And what day is it?
What day is it? That's my show prep today. So well, glad everybody's here. So what do we got today, RJ?
Well, let's go ahead and get our shameless plugs out of the way. If you're watching us live on the Emerald Coast TV Facebook page, as well as on our YouTube, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And we highly suggest if you got an opportunity to like any of those so that you get a notification when we're on so that you can get up to date with what's happening here on the Emerald Coast. Other shameless plugs, we actually even set up a Facebook page for the show. And we're trying to populate it with people that liked it so that we can start streaming live directly to it.
Shameless plug. I'm going to start saying if you share the page, What's Up Emerald Coast, yes, there will be some free pizza attached. Brought to you by crabisland.com. Something like that.
Something like that.
Not quite their actual logo that's going to be giving away the pizza. But for those of you that love me or hate me, you know where the pizza's coming from. But I'm going to bribe people to share the show. I read that's how you really get social media traction is with free food.
Free food.
There you go.
And we got two national holidays.
Two holidays
that we're going to highlight for today.
I like knowing what I get to celebrate on that today. Oh, I love that. Looks like a dessert.
This is the National Strawberry and Cream Day.
Is it not Wimbledon time?
Wimbledon.
I asked the tech nerd a sports question, which does not work.
No,
I looked at you.
Wimbledon's a word that everybody knows that means tennis. Because they don't have. I don't think they're known for strawberries and cream. But somehow you brought that up.
They are known for strawberries and cream in Wimbledon.
So I did not know that.
Yeah.
So you guys surprised him with something that you didn't know about.
The deer in the headlight look when I said something sports related was fantastic.
I didn't know the relationship between the two.
We're gonna one of the things we're gonna talk about too is a little bit about the farm world, and so it's strawberries are when it's time. So that's why it's Strawberries and Cream Day.
And this one would probably be right.
This looks like my career.
It's National Wait Staff Day.
My people.
Appreciate it.
My people. National Wait Staff.
They have gone through heck.
Well, we all have.
All of this, not only not being able to serve their favorite customers and stuff like that, and actually being able to go to work, but then also when they had to, everything else that they've had to do to prepare the extra work that they're not getting paid extra for.
Well, and then I'll throw a little bit to that because I put my opinions out there on Facebook and I welcome everybody's banter back at me, but my love. My career started selling blueberries, but so we'll get to that in a minute too. But I did work in the restaurant business all my life. I've worked in about 50 some restaurants, owned them or whatever. So when I talk about servers, bartenders, and in the back of the house, it doesn't get as much of the credit
this is true.
Often. It's very near and dear to my heart. And I'll say that what I fear the most in the premise of the show is the post-pandemic life. This starts to fade over time, but we got to live it one day at a time. Mm-hmm. And these servers doing their job, you don't just take it for granted. You walk up to the table, hey, my name is Chris. What can I get you? Or whatever your shtick is when you go to the table. But now it's to mask or not to mask, to sanitize all the time, to be worried about your guests being sick. I can't afford to be sick because I still live.
We salute you.
Yeah, I could go on and on. At the end of the day, I love everybody dearly. I can't wait to walk in and tip 20%. or more.
I've been tipping on the drive-thrus just because I
There
understand.
you go. It's absolutely essential.
We'd like
man.
to thank the nationaldaycalendar.com for letting us know what is going on. We also want to thank our
Moscovy.
Our
Thanks,
coffee
Jim.
sponsor here who
Sydney this
fuels
morning.
this show over here.
That was good.
And
Let's get this on.
a couple things in the paper today that we
Man,
can
it's
actually
going to be all
talk
food
about.
and jobs today. I like that for a topic
That's
today.
just true. That's
So-
true. I mean, there's some stuff that's pretty obvious that we know. Oh, by the way, speaking of which,
You got it up there on the screen
I
already.
don't know. Do I?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so. People are seeing
Yeah,
that's
here we
tomorrow's
go.
topic.
No. Yeah.
We'll talk about that
Yeah,
tomorrow.
this is gonna be tomorrow's topic because all week long has been talking about short-term rentals, and we actually have a woman who deals with
expert.
that, an expert
An
from.
expert.
We're gonna bring Christine Martinez from Palms Real Estate.
Okay.
She'll be our guest tomorrow, and we can talk all about.
So let's talk food today.
Well-
how about my boy
well,
over
how
there? I
about,
saw this in the paper.
Yeah, you saw this
Right there, Bobby over there and Mary Esther, and this is a nice young man right here. And the fact that's just let's read that headline. Mary Esther couple feeds homeless with a food pantry. RJ, you and I both have done some homeless work in the community. I know it's near and dear to your heart, and that's a topic we haven't talked about yet. So I'm going to suggest that we save our passion about this issue because homeless don't go away because there's a virus going on, and homeless don't go. It's an issue in any community around the country.
It's not easy.
And it's an easy one for people to deny, residents and politicians alike, very easy to deny. And when someone steps up like that, and we were just talking about people in the food business, and they step
our
up and
community
feed them,
has really done a good job.
I would like to reach out to them and have them come on and be a guest if that's all right with you. So
absolutely.
But let's talk about the other topic right there because
Well, actually, if you go to the top of the page, all week long has all been about the Florida
it.
unemployment aspect. But
That's right.
Our guest today is
Well, hold
not
on.
about.
No, I wanted to talk. We're going to talk about right there.
Oh.
Don't rush to the guest because I told you this is my perfect segue.
Okay.
Because as the entrepreneur, Bobby's giving away food, and it comes to food. Where does it start at? It starts with farms.
Yeah. And
And
what does this farm do?
The Panhandle is one of the breadbaskets of the United States. It definitely feeds. We have one of the highest per capita restaurants in the state of Florida, next to Disney. And a lot of these farms are struggling because the food has nowhere to go. Now, restaurants are getting open, and that's great. But I love when an entrepreneur, Sweet Season Farms up there in Milton, and I've driven by and seen the sign for those guys, and they're known for their corn and their cotton and peanuts and stuff like that. But look what they've done. They've done something that people will put a smile on their face.
Yeah.
They've converted the growing flowers, because flowers are still needed, would make us feel good.
Right.
And they have wonderfully fertile land up there. And if no one's going to be buying the produce that they're going to sell, the fact that the owner converted the flowers, that just puts a smile on my face. And that's an amazing thing. And so
sunflowers.
I point that out because I've been a serial entrepreneur, an addiction in a sense. And I recently went through some changes in my career. And for that farmer to make those changes and find an outlet to keep carrying on, I commend him very much. That takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of determination, a lot of talent. But not everybody has a farm. And sometimes you just need to turn around and find, what am I going to do next?
Yeah.
Where do I go next? Either I've lost my job, my job disappeared.
If anybody had done that outside of this, they'd be like, "You're crazy."
Yeah, and what do I do and where do I go? And I think our guest today is exactly what we're talking about. We brought the expert on.
I was going to pull up the fact that we were talking about it all week long. It's nothing about unemployment, but our guest is actually about reemployment.
There we go.
And let's go ahead and bring our guest speaker in right now. I'm going to bring in Michelle Burns.
Hello, Michelle.
From CareerSource here in Fort Walton Beach, I think is where they're at. I think she's in Shalimar at the moment at the head office.
I am.
Okay.
So, hey, Michelle, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So how are things at CareerSource? I know the number one question you get, so let's get it out of the way, is where do I go get my unemployment check over there?
Certainly.
Let's clear the deck.
Let's clear the deck. First of all, I have to say real quickly that we're not the unemployment office. This is not our system. It's
Thank
not
you.
ours. But my team has stepped up. They've done training, and so we are there to assist and do everything we can. We are open now. We just started Monday, back opening by appointment. So you can call the center number at 833-7587, and someone will be glad to do whatever they can to help you. They'll bring you in. If they have to sit right with you and help you go through your whole claim, they're ready to do that. Or sometimes you can just call, and it's something that we can just look up if we need to online. and we can help with that. I know that DEO is doing everything they can. No one was expecting the over 2 million claims that have already been received in Tallahassee. So we're just trying to process as many as we can of those. And I'm just real proud of the work we're doing right now to be able to, you can call our office and actually talk to a live person. Monday through Friday, we're open 8 to 4 right now.
So, I mean, your staff has probably been
Slammed?
overwhelmed and having to keep the doors closed. That can't be easy.
So, Michelle, as we go forward, how, I don't want to paint a bad picture, but you probably are right at the top of the statistics here in Okaloosa County, and this county probably reflects the rest of the country too. We're very, we're blessed to have the military world around us to keep a lot of businesses, support structure around that, and influenced by the military. But half of it is based around that sugar white sand, and so. Where are we at right now? And let's assume it's the worst. So when you come back to talk to us, hopefully in the future, if we don't disappoint you today, when you come back and give us a great report, what numbers am I going to remember 2 months from now that you said, look how bad it was and look where we got to in that period of time?
Right. I think that the biggest numbers we can look at is like the number of people that are on food stamps or collecting food stamps right now have over tripled. Same thing with people on welfare transition. And I'm hoping that as jobs start coming back, and we're seeing that more and more each day, that these people will start going back to work. And I think that's a good sign for all of us, that especially as we see jobs coming in. And one thing you can do is go to our website, which is careersource Okaloosa Walton. And if you scroll to the bottom, we do a daily email, and that will give you all the new and hot jobs out there. And they're starting to come in quite a bit right now. And I think that's encouraging. People are ready to open back up.
Excellent. So I got a couple more questions because this the timing of you being here is fantastic. And I really do. We both really appreciate you doing it. How much does, as I gave you the premise of the show, how much does post-pandemic life go into effect as you both interview your clients and you look at job opportunities? Is that now a fact? Is that a line item on the application, or is it part of the interview? What have you done to adjust your role?
Adjusting our roles has been quite different, especially in the situation where the majority of my staff are working remotely. And so I didn't love your holiday comment earlier, because working from home and coming into the office sometime and then being able to go back home and work, you don't know what day it is. So I know I carry my calendar with me everywhere I go so that I don't miss something. And I literally had forgotten Monday was a holiday, so I'm very grateful to hear that.
They were just talking about that. That is so
I'm like, oh
funny.
my gosh. So even if you're employed right now, it's such a different world. It's hard to keep up with what's going on.
I'm glad I told the CareerSource lady that there's a holiday coming.
Well, and I've always been.
We're irrelevant.
And I think we're going to have a whole different way. I think we're going to see more virtual interviews now as we go forward. So I think that my staff will have to be prepared to train people differently. We do a lot of mock interviews in our center to get someone ready for jobs. We help with resumes. Those are all kinds of things we do. And I don't really know for sure what the future is going to look like, but we're going to have to adapt to that. We're going to have to figure out what the needs are and train the people to, how they can get jobs. We need to find out maybe some people are looking now for jobs that would be more secure in a situation like this.
Right.
Maybe I do need to change careers. Maybe I need to see, what else is out there. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to see what else is out there.
And that's
we can
exactly
certainly hope with that.
That is exactly what I was thinking from the silver lining perspective of things. This is giving people a pause to like, okay, you know what? I actually really didn't like that job as much anyway. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to look into something else I've always wanted to do, because your best job is one that you love.
All right.
And this isn't. And can you explain some of the resources that are available for looking into new careers?
Absolutely. And our Career Center is certainly there for that. And we have all kinds of career counselors that can help with that, help you do job searches, get that resume. Even if you've only done one thing, sometimes you have a lot of skills within that can transfer to some other kind of position. And those are the things that we can help you with. We can also help you do we can see what your skills are as far as office skills, Microsoft. We can do some testing just to see where you are, see where we might do some training. We might have opportunities to put you back in school right now. And so those are some of the things that we can offer and help you with.
Let me flip to the other side of the employment relationship here. As I've gone through personally transition. I closed one restaurant recently, and I was actually on the Career Source. A good friend of ours, Ted, suggested I look at what you had on there. So I went down the website, and I commend you on the website. It is very friendly, user friendly, to move people along. And then lo and behold, a pandemic comes along. Not that you couldn't help me, but we were joking before the show. I think I might be unhelpable, and that might be the case. But nonetheless, let me ask you about the employers, because one of the things I hate hearing people say, and I just literally had this I get in some social media discussions, if you will, every once in a while. And somebody made the very crass comment of, oh, well, no one's going to want to go back to work when they're making this kind of unemployment money and this. And I'm like, okay, first of all, assuming they're getting their money, which that's a whole nother, that's not your department, so I'm not bringing that to you, but there's you're like, whoo! And but there's definitely an issue of that. But even when people, I don't believe in my heart that people like to sit around and get a handout. Most people want purpose.
Yeah.
They want an agenda. They need a drive. They need goals. And so having a job, even if it's working for a nonprofit for free, gives you more fulfillment than just sitting around waiting for the mailbox to fill up with a check. So that being said, how do the employers reach out? And let me qualify that a little more, because I'm about to be an employer again. And let's say I'm going to open a pizza place, and I'm going to start making a well-known pizza, and I want to get some qualified people out there. How do I put my business on your radar?
That's a great question.
So, and then can you help me find some staff, please?
Certainly. We'd be glad to help you. We have a whole business services team that do only that. They just strictly work with our employers, depending on what sector you're in. We're divided up so that person has more expertise in that area, bigger pipeline of employees. And so you have conversations with them. Again, you just have to call the same phone number, that 833-7587, and we'll get you hooked up with one of our business services reps. They'll help you, walk you through putting the jobs on our Employ Florida website. We can also screen employees for you. We can set up interviews if you need to use our center to interview. There's just anything that you need, we're there to help you find the staff that you're looking for.
Fair enough. I might be calling you, instead of looking on one side of your website, but I might be moving to the other side of the website.
Right.
So go ahead.
Yeah, and then one last thing is you ever come across people that basically you kind of realize that maybe they're better off being self-employed, and actually enhancing their skill sets there, or basically learning the business side. Now, do you refer them then over to the Small Business Administration, or do you guys handle some of that stuff? Okay.
We don't do as much of that. We will, we have all kinds of resources that we can certainly give out for somebody that wants to head out in that direction, and we can make those connections for them.
Michelle, I have to say though that, and I think I talked about this right before the show, that when it comes to, it takes a certain kind of crazy to open your own business, and I say that with love to the people out there. We were talking about the sunflower farmer earlier, and Bobby over there, choosing to feed the homeless. I always appreciate the entrepreneur. RJ right here, he's an entrepreneur in running the studio, and I give a lot of credit to that. Once I had the blessing of coming into your offices and talking about how to be an entrepreneur.
That's right.
And I was in there with some local, and I was in there way above my pay grade. You had some people in there about running businesses, and I'm like, wait a minute, you just want the bar guy, the pizza guy? But the premise to the questions were always the same, and the drive of the guests of your clients in there looking and making that decision. Do I want to take this job opportunity to be a manager or follow this career, or do I want to step out and do it on your own? It's really just almost a subset of helping people, because there's a special kind of need to be a manager of someone else's business. You're 1 degree of separation of being that guy that's taking all the risk and putting your name on the bottom line or the top of the sign, whatever you want to look at. So I know, even though you might not say it's a definitive service you offer, I think you do it indirectly. And so I give you a lot of credit for that, because as people figure out where they're going and what they're doing, the idea of Career Source is pushing you in that right direction. And so I think you do a great service for the community, and I really hope you know.
And we recommend anybody. We've
Yeah.
had the contact information
Keep
below
doing
us
it.
this entire time.
I know your
Go
work
to the
is.
website.
I know
give
your
them a
work
call.
right now is your plate is super full and super challenging on both ends,
But
both
exciting in the
the
same time.
employee and the employer. And oh, by the way, you're dealing with pandemic life too. So
Yes.
I commend you here on behalf of the people in Okaloosa County, and that you keep doing it. So thank you.
Let's give her a hand, folks.
Yeah,
Let's
there you
give
go.
her a hand. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you so
Oh,
much
thank
for
you.
joining us and
Oh,
taking your
thank you.
time out and
Appreciate
blocking
it.
this time. And I hope we can
Thanks.
help some people find the resources that they need to,
I need pizza staff.
To get
Find me
reemployed.
pizza staff.
or to find their dream career.
RJ
So,
needs the tech support. He needs somebody to come in here and
I've
make
got-
this right.
I've got guys.
I got a guy.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you
got a
very
guy.
much, Michelle.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
That was awesome.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, I feel a lot better, RJ. I got hope.
You got hope.
I
You've always had hope. You are a ray of hope.
It's going to be great.
Right. Yeah. So I want to again thank her for joining on board. I know she's trying to speak to us right now, but we
Yeah.
have her audio muted because we're going on. But you're welcome to leave or hang on later on. I know everybody else out there is going. What's
It
he
takes
doing?
RJ a while to close out the show. Watch.
Yeah. Right. So okay. Well, I just had one last thing that I wanted to go ahead and
As I said.
she's gone.
As I said.
I'm very excited. The geek in me is excited.
Nerd time. Here we
In
go.
the paper.
Go ahead, nerd time.
There we go. Next week, next Wednesday, May
we go.
27th, they are launching the first time in a decade.
Right.
They're going to have a man crew fly out from.
Put that picture back up. That's Tom
Oh.
Cruise.
That's
They're
not
flying
Tom
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise up to do the first movie filmed in space, and they're just not. That is Tom Cruise right there from Top Gun.
And I
telling
looked this
you.
morning. I was like, this is one of those ones I would like to go. Have you ever been down to the Kennedy Space Center?
No.
Yes. It's like they've actually
Long time ago,
The
but it
visitor
was
center,
far
and all
away.
that, it's like a mini Disney World.
Yeah.
They've really set it up so that it's like a theme park.
Right.
But it's all based on science history.
And soon enough, we'll all get to ride in a rocket
more so
ship
than
for
science
real.
fiction. Yeah.
We'll get to
And you
really
get a
take
great
a theme
tour and
park
all
ride.
that. And I was hoping that maybe they had tickets open for launch viewing, but they've closed the tickets at this
No,
time.
SpaceX isn't
But
doing
you
that
know,
yet.
all you other space geeks, you probably already have done the same thing I did as well.
All right,
So,
RJ, I'm going to get some work done today somehow.
I think
I got
think
pizza
it's a
to
good
make.
idea. Yep.
Okay.
And we want to thank everybody for joining in. Hope you had a good
Share
lunch.
the page.
And share the
Free
page.
pizza.
Provide your comments and have a great day.
And stay rational out there, my friends.
Mm-hmm.